Now, stories like this get to me because, you got somebody that was missing that ended up dead, and that is what occurred with this beautiful woman that you see right here. Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. The question really has to be at this point, what happened to this woman, Heather Williams, out of Fayetteville, North Carolina? That's what we're going to be discussing today. Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
What's going on, guys? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Crime Time. Now, before we get started, let me first and foremost say thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Hell, any of my channels, regardless of platform, regardless of method that you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal, you know the deal. The truth is, guys, I couldn't have done this for the last 19 years on all these different channels each and every day if it wasn't for you, the Gun Squad. I appreciate you more than I can tell you, and if you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad today. Support the channel, and you can also find some other content, man. I got all kinds of content, 24 different channels. You can get some of them down below, guys. Since we haven't been having Kohlberger content and all this, you guys know I've been doing these different type of videos. Yesterday there was no news, so there was really, I mean, I'm sure there was, but you know what I'm saying. I just didn't have any for this channel. Made 19 videos yesterday, and this channel unfortunately was the bitch left off the dick. It is what it is. There's a lot of things going on, but this woman is unfortunately no longer here with us. Let me go ahead and tell you the story as we proceed. Haunting Ring doorbell footage captures final moments of woman found murdered in the woods. Now, it's really funny because I live up here. I live in this general region. So to see this happen, so I know how the Appalachians are, I know how the woods are up here. This is a hideous situation, especially once you hear more of the story, which I will be telling you about here. In fact, we're going to start off right here by taking a look at the news and seeing what the news has to say, and then I will definitely give you more information after this.
Tonight, an emotional plea from the family of a Fayetteville woman reported missing a week ago, only to be found dead.
Police are now investigating Heather Williams' death as a homicide. Tonight, the family talks with CBS 17 for the first time since learning of her death. CBS 17's Sonica Bargo joins us in studio tonight. And Sonica, this has to be so heartbreaking for this family.
Maggie, Greg, yeah, Heather's sister Mary Williams says the news came as a shock. She says she and her family are leaning on each other and on their faith.
Yeah, it was awful. Because, you just never would think something like that would happen.
2 days after Fayetteville police found Mary Williams' sister Heather, Mary says her family is trying to focus on better times.
My dad said it best, we're thankful for the 25 years that we had with her.
Heather went missing on January 4th after she was seen getting into a car. Police say she was considered endangered because she suffered from cognitive impairment. Heather's family says she also had limited use of her right leg and arm.
So she was basically disabled, and somehow she was either taken advantage of or some situation. She gets in some car. You guys know me. When these stories come up, I always try to give you my initial gut feeling, right? And I will at the end of this, but I think you guys know where I'm going with this. If I was just to throw out something right now after just what we've learned, I would say she's probably a good girl, and at the same time, I don't want to say slower, but more like her, easy to take advantage of. Does that make sense? So I have a strong feeling she was picked up maybe by somebody that was offering to be friendly with her, and when he got her to wherever they were going, maybe tried some shit that she was like, no. Do you see my point? Where she rejected this person or what? It's definitely a guy, right? Probably rejected the guy, and he probably lost his temper or something of that nature. Probably thought she was easy prey, and she ended up maybe not being, and it pissed him off. And well, that's just my initial gut feeling. But let's go ahead and get back to this.
always smiling and always happy, but she's been through so many trials and tribulations and has overcome so much.
On January 10th, police found the car. Later, police say detectives were led to a wooded area near Newark and State Avenue where they found Heather dead.
We were really just thinking, you know, that she would come home or she was with somebody.
What do you mean found the car? Was the car stolen?
Police are now treating this as a homicide.
Yeah.
Heather's family urging anyone to come forward and help solve the case.
What happened to Heather is awful, and I wouldn't want it to happen to anybody else. And so with that person still out there, still able to harm other people.
So that's what I want to know. Is the car stolen? Like the car didn't belong to the killer? That makes this case even more wild. I want to know more details about like what she was doing, where she was at. Like, was she getting a ride from somebody? Was it a boyfriend? Somebody she met off a website or an app? And this dude, whoever this was, you're telling me that it just so happens this person wasn't in their own vehicle? Like this was a stolen vehicle? Is that where we're going with this?
It's horrific to think about.
And keeping memories of Heather alive.
And I say this for a reason. Obviously, the first thing that you got to ask and that you got to question is the connection. But however, if this dude was out just randomly like stealing a car, maybe their entire meeting was a chance random meeting. Do you see what I'm saying? And then ultimately he convinced her to get in the car, whatever the situation may be. The real question is what made her get in the car? Was it somebody she had previously known? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, is there a connection here? Here's my honest thought. I don't think there's going to be a connection. And I say that because it seems random because of the potential of the car being stolen or whatever. I mean, I'm sure we'll learn more of the story, but just...
I hope people remember Heather as somebody who has, you know, persevered and somebody who
homicide victim's car is
smile and can make people laugh.
Investigators confirmed they have some leads in Heather's case, but they are also asking anyone with more information to reach out or call Crime Stoppers. In studio,
let me show you
Barco,
something. Let me show you. Hold on.
Fayetteville police are investigating a homicide after a woman was found dead this afternoon. 57-year-old Sherry Miller was found dead.
Oh, that's not her. All right.
Tonight.
All right, so let's go back to this, okay? Let's see what kind of information we have. She was last seen on January 4th, leaving her home in Fayetteville sometime after 10 p.m., entering a gray four-door sedan with an unknown person. Heather lost the ability to speak, so she couldn't even talk. After a car accident put her in a coma. Her family say she was extremely vulnerable, like I was saying, and fear a cruel predator took advantage of her. That has to be it. That's clearly. Much of her final moments remains unclear. On Friday, nearly a week after she went missing, detectives with the Fayetteville Police Department were led to a wooded area near Newark and State Avenue where her body was discovered. It is unclear if the person who led police to the site was involved in Williams' murder, and police are yet to reveal how she died. Mary Williams, age 27, Heather's sister, told the Daily Mail that she is praying that someone comes forward. The person is still out there. Somebody has seen something, heard something, knows something. We hope they go to the police. Heather was last seen leaving her house just before 10 p.m. Damn, look at this. So she was getting picked up. Whoever, based on what we got here, she had to have been getting picked up. Like she knew somebody was coming to get her. Now the question is going to be, is this somebody random off Tinder or some shit like that, right? I mean, logically, they had to have previously talked. I mean, you know what I mean? Her heartbroken sister shared that her sister, who was a talented softball player, was a junior in high school when she was hit by a car when she was walking on a road in October 2015 and nearly died. The accident put her in a coma for months as she had to have part of her skull removed. After intense recovery, she was starting to learn how to walk again, talk again. Oh, man. Oh, man. Despite her cognitive disabilities, she said that her sister just wanted to be a normal 25-year-old. Her disabilities made her naive and trusting and she thought everyone wanted to be her friend. Oh, man. Oh, man. Weeks before her murder, Mary said that she and her parents filed for guardianship or get her somewhere to continue rehabilitation and meet other young people with similar needs. This is sad, man. The night she left the house, it was after her parents went to sleep. She lived with her parents. She goes out the door. She is on the phone with someone, so that clearly means she was getting picked up. She is standing outside the house. She's looking like she's waiting for someone to pick her up. She sees the car, starts walking toward the car to get in. Around 12:10, a text message was sent, the last reported activity on her phone. Police have not revealed what was in the message or who she sent it to. Police have ruled Williams' death a homicide, but would not share any further information about the case, only calling it an active investigation. Mary said she had no idea what her sister's final text message said. I really wish I knew, she said. She says the police are not sharing much with the family. They haven't told us much, but my mom said that they haven't ruled out the possibility of sexual assault. God damn it. I bet I was right. My understanding is that she was nude or partially nude, as awful as that is. No, that's exactly what happened. Guys, I'm telling you, in this case right here, that's exactly what happened. She was naive. She went with this person. She probably thought that this person meant well for her, meant the best for her. He probably tried some shit, and her being kind of a little bit, I don't want to say slow, that feels rude, right? And her being kind of, she probably rejected it. She doesn't seem, it's like, clearly she's not a whore. You can tell by looking at her. You can, and if she's a little slow, had part of her brain, her skull removed, yeah. And so this person may have been rejected, thought he was going to get some pussy, didn't get the pussy, and said, fuck it. She's slow anyway. I'll force it, and then I'll just dispose of her. Do you see what I'm saying? Or something of that nature. Maybe he forced it, and she fought back. You know what I mean? Let's see here. So she was nude. When asked if she knew if the person who led detectives to her sister's body was the same person involved in her death, she said the detectives have not told them yet. I know they don't want to hinder the investigation. We are waiting on pins and needles. We have not been told who led them to the body. Mary said, but there's also been no arrests made, right? Mary said the autopsy has not been released, which she said has been really tough on them. So they don't even know how it happened. Said, I feel like I'm all cried out at this point. Of course. Mary said for 7 days her sister was missing and she and her family were playing detective. We're trying to piece together her phone records, her call records, her Facebook posts, trying to piece together where in the world she could be without her medication. She was never gone this long. I knew something was wrong, but you would never think that it would be the outcome. You always want to think the best case. Mary explained that her sister didn't have the capacity to make safe decisions and know the situation was dangerous. This is the wooded area where her body was found, clearly. This is sad, man. She said her parents are relying on their Christian faith to get through this horrific ordeal. Oh, man, just talking a lot about the way the parents are taking it. Oh, man, this is horrible, right? So with the news that we have here, we don't have any updates. This is all we got. I mean, this is the beginning of the case, right? Guys, do your work. I know a lot of you guys are the true crimers, snack cakes and all that. You know, I know. Her name is Mary Williams from North Carolina, Fayetteville. Hopefully we can put some pieces of this case together. Obviously she was found dead, so obviously we can't, all we can really do is try to put the pieces to the puzzle of who did it. That's the only thing left to do. I'm in this general region, so whatever leads we have or whatever can be done, I rest assure you I'll do it. So this is a sad story. I don't even have no jokes to make in this situation. Because, I mean, it's obviously, this is a horrendous tale. And whenever somebody does something to someone vulnerable or mentally damaged, it's just, it hits more, right? It hits harder, like a child or an old woman. Or do you see what I'm saying? It hits harder. And this is one of those cases where it definitely hits harder. Because she probably got in that car thinking everything was going to be fun or okay, not a problem. But then again, she also might have waited till her parents went to sleep and snuck out the house, and which is also very dangerous for someone in her capacity. Yeah, I don't have a lot of jokes or anything funny for you guys or anything like that in this case. This is just a case that we need to dig into a little bit. So hopefully we will, because this is a big one. Guys, if you like what I do here and you find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time, man. Let me know any information you guys can find or what you think of the story. I have a strong feeling that this case is going to require some of the people from the internet, but maybe not. If that car was registered to the potential killer, if there's any trace, which clearly there will be, of them on the phone, unless he was leaving, unless he got like a burner phone and it's not in a stolen car and he like was planning on killing people. Unless that was the case, there has to be a paper trail to the killer. But the point is, there's no arrest made yet. So we got to figure that one out, man. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.